started thinking about homeschooling, I thought, that is not for me. That's for someone else. Whatever that feeling was not me. So I did not think I could do it. I did a lot of crying, a lot of asking God to take that feeling away. Like, I will get more involved with school. I will just get on the PTA and I will help at school, and then I will be around my kids and I can help them in their education that way. Or I can make sure they have the best teacher for them. Like, somehow that was going to make a difference. And so I was very resistant. Had a lot of anxiety, and I doubted myself the most. But I got a very clear answer where God told me that I needed to do this. And so I feel like I jumped off the cliff. I just took that leap of faith that whatever God had planned for my children, He would help me be part of that. Before I started homeschooling, I wish I would have had other friends that homeschool, for sure. Because it got pretty lonely during the day.
Did you say that it would be good for them to look into homeschool communities where they live?
You're so pretty. You don't know, but I got footage of you earlier, so. And I have your parents.
Someone that you could even sit and watch how they homeschool. Not that you would have to model after them, but just to have an idea of what someone else does. So I had like 3 months where I just de-schooled. We took the summer. I didn't really do anything all summer. I just played with the kids. I tried not to think about curriculums or anything like that. I came into, all the other kids went to school, and I was like, now my children are home and they have no one to play with, and everyone's at school all day. So I have to figure out something. I struggled with finding a curriculum. I took the little tests, and my style was like more towards the classical end, eclectic. It didn't feel natural to me, and so I was definitely fighting against that. And I thought, love to get out in nature, and we'll do little journals and stuff. This is what I had in my head, like, I'd love to, go on a nature walk, and my children would be, observe things around them and enjoy being out in nature, when in reality, that is not them. That's not them. I enjoy that. That's me, but that wasn't them, and so that didn't work. So I was looking at doing like a charter school or part day school, or so many different online schools that I got kind of overwhelmed with the options on that end. So I didn't really look at curriculum because I was still looking for a way out. I'll be honest, I was just looking for a way to not really homeschool my children. And so just looking for, can I send them somewhere? Can I put them in a program that they teach them? And it just kept coming up as a no. As I would pray about it, it just came up as a no.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, just whatever comes along, we'll read a book, we'll read this, and we'll not really focus on anything at all. And we'll just kind of whatever, and maybe I'll do the unschooling thing. We'll just not have curriculum. And my husband was like, you need a curriculum. They at least do math. So that was his plea to me. And so I did get them on Khan Academy and Prodigy. That was kind of how we started. It was just 20 minutes of math. However much she likes. with the help of my husband, we came up with a schedule, and I found things that felt more natural to us, and coming up with, we have breakfast, before 9, and it had to be really strict at first because they were, they would go and play and not eat, and then they wanted to eat when it was time for school. And so we had to come up with more of a structure so that, there was set expectations, and then that structure, evolved into even more structure because of frustrations that come along, and so I just added more and more, and then I found a curriculum, and I started using The Good and the Beautiful for language arts, and so we were sitting and doing that every day, and they would rotate, and I would sit with each of the children and do the curriculum, and then they would do the Khan Academy or the Prodigy for their allotted time. I would drop it quite a bit, and so I have a reset. We fail, and then we try again. Do I think my homeschool looks like anyone else's? Probably not. It's literally me sitting with my children, and I don't group teach, I teach one-on-one, and that is what fits for me. And we've attempted watching movies, like historical movies and documentaries for history, just because Mom is so boring that they couldn't absorb the history. I enjoy history, but I don't, I'm just not a good teacher. I think I would be a better teacher if I was more confident.
So here's a question. Someone that's learning to be a teacher, they learn everything, right? They gain the knowledge. But do they just go and start doing it and be the best teacher ever right out of school?
Definitely.
No, they take like 2 years or something, right? Or it's a year that they actually go and they are student teaching. And so they're observing an actual teacher, a seasoned teacher, and they are mimicking that seasoned teacher. And once they feel confident, then they start adding their own style to it. So maybe that's what you're needing. Maybe you just need to watch a seasoned teacher that feels confident so that you can start modeling that and growing in your confidence, and then the cinnamon will come out, right? The little bit of spice will start getting added to it.
I love to sew, I love to be outdoors. I love listening to politics. I love listening to like what's going on. I get really, passionate and get like hold a very hard stance on things, and my husband does not agree with me most of the time, and so he enjoys watching me get passionate about those things. I don't know why it doesn't translate into what I'm teaching. Sometimes we talk about politics, and we kind of use that as our lesson and just have a discussion, and or we'll talk about the Constitution and why it was important and what was so special about it. And I feel like in those times when I'm just winging it, definitely the passion is there. There's more conversation. It's not just reading from a book or watching a documentary. It's like, okay, did you learn anything from that? And they're like, no. They didn't retain any of that information.
Sometimes we really struggle sharing book knowledge and the everyday or the regular scripted kind of knowledge, right? But when we share in a discussion applied knowledge that we've experienced, that we've observed, we can get way more passionate about it, and we can get more absorbed in it, and our kids get that from us, and they get excited and they're way more interested. And so maybe taking that book knowledge and trying to connect it to your life and give it purpose in your life. maybe that's your goal, is just to find purpose in that book knowledge. Like, why are we learning about the Russian Revolution or whatever? That's on my mind because I had never taught it or really researched it before. And so I'm thinking, what are my kids going to like the most, right?
Yeah.
Rasputin. Because lately
Yeah.
they are thinking about how they stranger danger, and they need to be careful of like creepy people, and Rasputin was creepy, and so that resonates with them, and they're like, okay, I can get on this. He was a creepy guy, he shouldn't be there, right? And so then they're starting to feel compassion for the Tsar's family, and then they start learning about the Bolsheviks, and so just taking that book knowledge and creating a connection and purpose in their life for why they should know this, and they start connecting dots, and they start to have compassion. And then I feel more passionate because I'm helping my kids connect, the purpose behind history and their life now, or math and their life now. And maybe that's more of what a lot of us struggle to do as teachers, is just finding that connection. We just see it as a scripted material of knowledge instead of applied knowledge. And I use YouTube a lot. So I'll look at all the content that I want to teach, and I find videos that touch on it. And sometimes they cover more like the visual aspect. And then afterwards we have our discussion. So now they've retained the knowledge a little easier, and now we can talk about it because now they have the back history on it. They understand it better. They have Google.
Yeah.
They can find out anything. Like, we do not have to be concerned about these holes and filling these holes all the time, because if we just teach them to enjoy learning and to observe their environment and their relationships and to be more aware of themselves and their impact on others, then they'll be able to find whatever information they need. But your job will be done. Like, they will know where to find good knowledge. And they will know that their mom loved them like so much, right? They're gonna know. I think we have to just show ourselves some grace and just be merciful. And you're fantastic. I cannot break it
Amazing.
in moments like this, because I'm like, here's this beautiful woman, and I just cannot just interview and ask questions and not just come hug you and just say you're amazing.
Just everything you say is like so inspirational. So I'm just gonna videotape you. Need something? You want to play tennis?
Freak out!
Hey, Ezra.
You were good.